crisis. If Wike leaves, Atiku'S victory chances will be gone, Primate Ayodele. The leader of INRI Evangelical Spiritual Church, Primate Elijah Ayodele, has predicted that the presidential ambition of the PDP candidate Atiku Abubakar might lose the election if the Rivers State Governor Nyesom Wike leaves the party. According to the cleric in a statement signed by his spokesperson, Oluwatosin Osho, the former vice president should try to make peace in the party. He said, PDP should not allow Wike to leave because if he leaves, the chances of the party in the presidential election will be jeopardized. What Wike is dragging can cause PDP so much. Atiku should try to adjust, and this is not about dominating. He should try and make peace work in the party. Only peace and the presence of some important people can give the party victory. Imagine! Wike leaving the PDP will dent victory because other important members of the party will leave with him, and it will make the election tougher for the party. Recall that there's an ongoing party tussle. Abubakar Wike and the party's national chairman, Iyorchia Ayu. Wike's camp has called for resignation of Ayu as a condition for reconciliation between the duo. I mean, if Wike wants to leave, well, he can leave if he wants to. I don't think he has to stay in the party. And I'm not going to lie, Wike is he's giving tendencies of a tyrant, to be honest. You don't get what you want, you break everything apart, you fall everything. I mean, again, I think it's a bit, I get it, it may be unfair, and it's sad. I don't know what else to attribute to this, but I think Primate Ayodele has been one to give so many prophecies and they never really come to pass, to be honest. So really, he might as well just say he's because they haven't come to pass, it has made him very unreliable, to be honest, and people don't really trust in what he says, even though what he says here is basically like a comment. But I think it's what is even more unfortunate is the fact that they attribute their success to important people in the party, and nothing he said has to do with the people, and that is why I clocked out. Because personally, I'm like, what is the reason of regarding people in such high, you're literally talking about these individuals, and yes, their influence, of course, is very important in the political space, but it's like, you can't just attribute victory to these individuals. If Wike wants to leave, he can leave. If he wants to cause problems, he can cause problems, he has every right to. I mean, it is unfair with everything that's going on. I think with him, maybe more people would sympathize with Wike more and feel him on a more personal level. But I don't think it calls for any disruption of the party. But if Wike, decides to leave and it causes disruption, well, I don't think Nigerians will judge him, first of all. And I don't think, he doesn't have a right to it. I mean, if he wants to, he should go for it. I mean, I personally, I don't see anything wrong in that. I mean, personally, I think it just makes the party look very spineless. And really, if peace is the problem, not that peace is not important, but how essential peace is to the running of the party. If it's that deep, then we've got something on our hands. I mean, it's a lot. Like, if it's really that deep, that Wike leaving can cause a lot of problems, and reconciliation, great, but Wike already making demands of the resignation. I mean, it's a bit extreme in my opinion. You're making resignation of the leader of the party. Okay. I mean, Wike has talked about, him not necessarily agreeing with the leadership of the PDP. So I didn't think this is what he meant, or this is what it was going to lead to. It was, he said it in very vague, in a vague terms, vague context. Like, okay, what specifically do you mean by the leadership of the party? Well, I guess we have our answer here. Anyways, I think Wike is, he's going to exploit this opportunity, because I don't think anybody doubts that Wike has influence and is important. Nobody doubts that. So I guess that would be his leverage for other people even in the party to convince, not just convince, but literally, I guess, add a bit more pressure on Atiku'S side to sort of make peace. Because, But I think what the signs that we're seeing here of Wike, which I think is very dangerous, and why, well, not that Atiku is any better, but why, you not even want to, I don't think anyone would even prefer Wike, is the fact that he's giving very, very strong red flags as someone who's in office doesn't get what he wants, goes crazy. And I think that's what's happening here, 100%. And in fact, he's proving to me why, well, maybe it's a good thing you're not the presidential candidate, because I personally, well, that's my personal opinion anyway, but I think the signs that we're seeing here of Wike's behavior, it's giving red flags. He has every right to be upset, I'm not saying that, but really, the way he's behaving, I don't think that's not how it's meant to be, in my opinion. Now, going to the comments, which I think very much, valid. Please, is Wike going to cast more than one vote? Confusion, prophet everywhere. And exactly, literally, we can conclude on that note. Why are we acting like as if Wike... That's what I'm saying. Like, you're not even acknowledging the people's impact. You're saying, oh, if you don't have this man, we're not going to win. And it's just like, okay, fine. I understand maybe he is important to the party and he must have, proven that on so many occasions. Great. But really, like, is that how they're gonna, like, I don't think that makes sense at all, in my opinion. Like, what? It doesn't make sense. So really, you're holding this man to such high regard, and he's using it against the party to cause disruption because you want to, reconcile, and because you're the one going to be appeased here. You're asking that someone resign. I mean, what? Maybe he has maybe he actually has a right to do that. Maybe, given the fact that, he's important in the party, and he probably has a right to, given his standing. So I wouldn't undermine that. But seriously, he is really giving major red flags in leadership, 100%. What? This is extreme. This person says, what if Wike passes before the election? I don't think we should be talking about that, but okay. Victory belongs to God, not human. Wike is not ready to leave the PDP, but from his body language, he will play a spoiler role, and it will really hit hard on Atiku'S chances. Very vengeful. But again, we're judging, but maybe the plan was not even Atiku in the first place. And then for the VP slot, not him again. Not just the fact that he was aggrieved. I mean, everybody literally was like, what? So if the people can sympathize with you, then, you're a long way into the game. Put what you think in the comment section below. And do not forget to like and subscribe.